Nityanandam, there is a saying, you are as old as your spine. An old man in his 80s, just by keeping himself healthy through yoga, through a healthy lifestyle, and keeping his spine supple, flexible, strong, he will be experiencing himself as a man in his 20s. On the other hand, a young man in his 20s, but due to unhealthy lifestyle, a sedentary lifestyle, and constant neglect of the body, abuse of the body, inviting pains, aches to the body. Even though he may be in his 20s, but he will feel himself as a man, an old man in his 80s. So it is really important how you have a healthy spinal care, because the spine is an indication of how you feel, how young you feel about you. This is Manitya Dugananda. I'm from your Presence Hills. This is the topic for today's video, healthy spinal care. And you should know that there was a time in my life, in my 20s, I suffered a lot due to spinal issue, back aches, shoulder aches. Partly because of the job, when I was doing a lot of desk-bound job as a marketing professional, but also lack of understanding about posture alignment and how to take care of the spine. So as a result, I suffer till I came to yoga. Yoga helped me to understand the proper spinal care as well as how to manage the condition. See, I have a medical condition called scoliosis. I have mild scoliosis in the lumbar region, my lumbar curve. That created certain imbalance in the body. Because of that, the body itself compensates the weight and the structure. As a result, it caused a lot of misalignment in the body, and by you get pains and aches in the body because structurally was not stable, it was not balanced. So that brought me to yoga, and it was through yoga that I learned how to help people basically to overcome the issue with the spinal problem. So today I'm going to share with you, a workshop which I have been conducting, which is healthy spinal care. I'd like to share some of the basic knowledge about healthy spinal care for the benefits of people who need to understand why they are having problems with the spine. So, see, I have seen that our lifestyle, modern lifestyle, especially if you are living a sedentary lifestyle, that means you don't move much, you don't keep yourself active, you're most of the time sitting, lying down, basically inactive lifestyle, which creates a lot of issue with the spine. See, the spine, to keep it healthy, supple and flexible, the spine wants to constantly subject to certain movement like side bending, lateral bend, forward bend, rotation, which is twisting, and also extension. This is the way how the spine keeps itself healthy and supple. You should know that by the time you're 20, the first 20 years of your age, your spine is able to absorb the nutrients and the fluid through its body naturally. But after 20, the spine starts to stop the functioning of ability to absorb nutrients and fluids through the spine. That's the time that we need to keep the spine healthy by moving it, subject it to different movement. That's the reason why in yoga, we bend our body, we stretch the body, we twist the body, we twist the spine, so that the spine is kept supple, healthy, ability to absorb the fluid, so that the spinal disc is also supple, not dried up when you are not using it for over a long time. So this is an important part of keeping the spine healthy and supple, flexible. Now, let me just introduce the anatomy of the spine. Basically, the whole spine comprises about 33 vertebrae. The first spinal curve is the cervical spine, your neck. It is a 7 vertebral curve, which is important to hold the weight of your head. Okay? See, curves, why the spine is not straight but curved? Because the curves holds the weight, bears the weight of the structure above it. So for the cervical spine, the neck, it holds the weight of the head. So the next spinal structure is the thoracic spine, the back. The thoracic spine is a 12 vertebral curve, basically also which connects all the rib cage, which connects with your rib cage, which holds the organs inside the rib cage. The third curve is the lumbar spine, a 5 vertebral spinal curve which actually bears the weight of the upper structure of your body. The fourth structure of the spine is the sacral spine, which is a triangular bone which is fused together, which holds the pelvis and the spine together. You should know that most of your weight is being held by the sacral spine. And then, of course, the final part of your spinal curve is the coccyx, the tailbone, which is a fused bone of 3 to 5 vertebrae. So essentially, that is your structure, the anatomy of the spine. See, the spine wants to be in its natural neutral position. It means intact. The spinal curve should be intact, which is not flattening of the curve or excessive compression of the curve. So when you are doing your day-to-day work, understand that even in the practice of yoga, always maintain the neutral position of your spinal curves. Because this is important, because that's how the spine is organized, structured. And the curves, like I mentioned earlier, they are important to hold the weight of the structure above it. Just like the arches of your feet, the arches are what holds the weight of the body. So that's why for people with a flat foot, they are not able to hold the weight properly. As a result, they also have a lot of structural issue. That means in terms of back pain, the weight bearing part of the body is moved to a certain part of the legs or some certain part of the feet, which cause excessive pain. So first thing you need to understand is our spine has curves, and the curves are necessary to bear the weight for the structure. The second thing you need to know is that between the vertebra, there's this gel-like disc. The fluid in the disc, they are actually like a shock absorber. So when you are moving, when you are subjecting to certain movement, that disc serves as a shock absorber for the body, which is important because then you're able to transmit a clear line of force through the body. But because of sedentary lifestyle, that means you don't move your body much, the gel over time dries up. When it dries up, you start to have problem because it become hard, solidified, not liquid form. You start to press on the spinal nerves, and that creates a lot of pain. And the worst thing is sometimes people experience the slip disc. It means the disc slipping out of the whole spinal column. So that is a tremendous problem when that happens, as a degeneration of the spine. Degeneration of the spine means certain deformity starts to happen in your spine, whether it is the disc becoming hardened, causing a disc to slip, or bone growth, spurts of bone growing along the spine, which press on the spinal nerves. These are degeneration of the spine, which can cause tremendous pain and aches in the body, and even through surgery, it may not solve the problem entirely. That's why it is very important to learn this knowledge about keeping your spine healthy. Now, some people are born with certain spinal condition, like the scoliosis, which is formed normally in the teenage, formative years when you are growing up. Some people are born with excessive curves in the spine. That means the spine was not normal. So such conditions, they just have to learn how to manage the body with the structure. To some extent, some condition which is very excessive, they need medical interference. That means medical surgery to restructure the whole spine. So there's also a condition. You must know that the spine is made up of different vertebrae, different bones, and the gel-like disc. Now, if you are perceiving the structure of spine as individual bone, as a structure, physical structure, you will not understand the power of the spine. See, as I explore so much working with the body through yoga, I experience the spine at a different level. The spine to me is like a conducting rod. It basically transmits flow of force, impulse through the upper and lower body, depending on how I initiate the movement. Whether I'm initiating the movement from my head to the tail, or to the tail to the head. The initiation of movement allows me to experience a clear line of force through the spine. When I know how to organize my spine structurally in proper alignment, I experience that not just an impulse, a clear line of force. When I'm able to organize everything as a whole, not as a segmented parts, I experience myself as power. The movement becomes power, not just a force. Because when you move your body with intelligence, with alignment, it becomes power. Movement without intelligence is a force, which sometimes can get into trouble when you misdirect the force and you get injury. So when you understand how to organize your body, the spinal alignment, and initiate movement through force, you are able to convert impulse of the force into power. So your quality of movement becomes a different expression. It becomes graceful, powerful. It becomes like a dance. So now I also want to talk about another important component about the spinal care. When you're not able to organize yourself, you see, even the spine is made up of individual bones. The ligaments, the muscles which holds the spine together, which utilize your core muscles, all the muscles help to shape your spine. But if you don't exercise to keep your muscles strong, the core muscles strong, you will not be able to hold your spine properly. Meaning you will be collapsing, slouching, or you will be not able to hold yourself up in a prolonged period of time. So by and by, the muscle become weak. When your core strength is weak, be very clear, your spine will not be able to have its flow of energy coming through the spine. When you are not able to experience that, then you experience your spine as old, pain, and inflexible. So that's its reason why, the yogis, the masters, the sages, they knew all this for a very long time, and they prescribed yoga as one of the solutions to keep the spine healthy and the body healthy, tuning the body. See, I recently learned another sacred secret about the spine from the context of yoga through my guru. His name is Paramsam Sri Nityananda. He said that yoga is about aligning your spine to the cosmic geometry. When I heard that, I was like, wow, very interesting statement. So recently I play with this, using my body and play with this truth. The spine, when you experience yoga, is about aligning the spine to the cosmic geometry. When I started playing with this body, I experienced the coming together of the 5 elements, the Panchabhutas. See, the whole universe is made up of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, space. The same 5 elements can be found in our body. Okay? So when we experience earth, which is the flesh and bone, water, which is the blood and the fluid in the body, fire, your digestive fire, which converts food to energy, and air, your breathing or the prana, and space, your inner space, which you hold your visualization in your inner space. So in yoga, the body is considered as a pindanda, which is microcosm, and the universe is considered as brahmanda, which is the macrocosm. The two are not very different. They're one and the same. One is a miniature of the macrocosm. So when you're able to align your whole body, aligning the 5 elements and experiencing your whole spine in a form of prana. See, you must understand that the whole universe, not just the human body, everything, whether it's form or without form, anything from an atom to the entire cosmos, internal or external, everything is made up of this life-shaping principle called prana, the life force. Everything you see in this universe is made out of this basic structure called prana, this basic unit called prana. So prana is the common undercurrent which runs through everything. So through the breath, see, the breathing is what connects you to the source beyond the body mind, which is also the bridge between you and existence. Through the activation of prana, because through the breath you initiate movement. All movements happens through breath. Breath is a precursor for any movement to happen. So through prana, you initiate movement, you go into action. If you're able to align the whole body, including the spine, to activation of the 5 elements, the Panchabhutas in the body, you experience the whole spine as prana, and with a single thought current of yoga, which is experiencing the oneness with the source, cherishing that thought and experiencing that, you will experience a different space, which is feeling yourself as your whole spine aligned to the cosmic geometry. That itself, you will feel the flow of the Kundalini Shakti, which is the inner potential energy. See, the Kundalini energy is the inner potential energy which resides at the base of the spine, near the coccyx area, which is the tailbone. Till it is awakened through yoga, that energy starts traveling up through the three nadis, the Susumna, which is the central channel, and then the Inda and Pingala, the two crisscrossing nadis. One is related to Surya, one is related to Chandra, which is the yin and yang energy, and the three of the energy reaches to the higher energy center, either your third eye or your crown chakra. So that, when you experience that, that is the experience of that whole cosmic alignment to the cosmic geometry. And when that happens, you enter into a different space of oneness with the source. So I just want to share with you the importance of a healthy spinal care, even for a layman, just to avoid all the issues related to degeneration of the spine, avoiding pains and aches, and poor quality of life. You should look at how you take care of your spine. So in the workshop that I teach, I basically give people the understanding how to take care of the spine from a day-to-day actions, such as sitting, getting up from the bed, walking, standing, and even lying down, all that simple movement that we do on a daily basis. And then in yoga, how do you activate basically the 5 elements in the body, and fundamentally experiencing the wholeness within you as you move the body. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video. I hope you enjoy watching this video. If you have questions, feel free to send a message through at the bottom of this video. I'll be delighted to answer. Now with that, thank you for listening. Nityanandam.